Covering the Universal Orlando Resort for over 5 years, you are listening to the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 235 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. I'm your host Lee and joining me this week is Darren.
What's up, Internet?
And Hunter.
Hey, what's up?
And Tracy.
Good evening, everybody.
How is everybody doing this evening? Or this afternoon or this morning, depending on when you're listening.
Good.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Or tired, or awake and refreshed, or depending on when you listen.
Pretty good. Getting ready, taking a big trip of the month. It's going to be cool.
We can't talk about that on here.
Oh, no, we can't.
No, we can't.
But if you want to hear about that, just direct message me. We'll talk about it. It's going to be fun.
I was just getting ready for the bleep button there and he didn't do it or whatever. Right, we have no Producers Club birthdays this week.
Well, not. Are we sure?
Oh, we might have, and I
sure?
might have just missed them. So
Shout at Lee if he's forgotten you.
I think we will start this week with some little things with Seth.
This is Seth Kaburski from the Unofficial Guide to Universal Orlando, and I'm back this week with a big list of little things that are new at the Universal Orlando Resort. Inside Universal Studios Florida, the Despicable Me virtual queue test that I talked about last time has ended. So Despicable Me for now is gone back to the standard standby and express lines with no more virtual queue. In other USF simulator ride news, the Simpsons ride was down for a brief refurbishment and has reopened with no major changes, just a fresh coat of paint on the inside. And right next to the Simpsons ride, the Coca-Cola kiosk phone chargers, which I had mentioned previously, have suddenly disappeared. That didn't last long, so if you need a place to charge your phone, you're going to have to look somewhere else now. Of course, Mardi Gras has now started at Universal Studios Florida, and a couple of little notes. The French Quarter food court is open starting at 4 p.m., and annual pass holders can get a discount on food and non-alcoholic beverages between 4 and 6 p.m. on event nights. Normally, annual pass discounts do not apply at outdoor food vendors, so this is a great way to taste some of the New Orleans food for a little bit less money. Another change to Mardi Gras this year is that the authentic New Orleans bands, which are brought in the evenings, are no longer performing on a stage in the French Quarter area. Instead, they perform on the street in various places and pop up around the New York area. The other very exciting news this past week is that construction walls have been removed around the Race Through New York with Jimmy Fallon ride, which will be opening in early April. The gift shop has been open for a little while now, and you can see the marquee, which is styled after the studio in New York City where The Real Tonight Show is filmed. Last but not least, there's some exciting news over at Volcano Bay, the new water theme park that is going to be opening on May 25th. Water is finally flowing from the top of the volcano, so construction is definitely moving along. That's all for this edition of The Little Things. I'm Seth Kaburski, and I'll see you again real soon.
Awesome. Volcano Bay is looking amazing, by the way. That I think someone posted a picture coming down I-4 looking at that. Oh, it was Orlando United, and that volcano looks stunning.
Yeah. I saw somebody posted a picture of the new Boathouse restaurant. I think it's Paddlefish at Disney Springs. And you can see in the background, because they posted their rooftop terrace, and in the background you can see Volcano Bay there.
Oh, wow. From Disney Springs?
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Pretty funny.
Cool.
It's pretty tall for the area for sure.
That's good. You know, that's what they want, though. They want people, they want to capture those people going down to Disney who wouldn't be thinking, like the kids in the back of the car, like we kind of mentioned it with Seth, I think it was, last week, saying, you know, people are going to drive past it and the kids are going to be like, what's that? I want to go there.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, so there's some little things, but there has also been another big thing. Speaking of Volcano Bay, and we have heard a little bit more about the Tapu Tapus come out in the last couple of weeks. So, Tracy and Hunter, you've both got the info on this. So, Hunter, I'm going to go over to you first.
Okay, not a problem. I'm not sure if you guys saw Hate to Fly's tweet, but it was something along the lines of, that's a whole mountain of nope. And I agree with that statement. Those slides are pretty terrifying. However, we do have more Tapu Tapu info to bring in your Valentine's Day or a couple days after. Following on from our chat with Seth on episode 234, Universal Orlando have released more info on the Tapu Tapu wearable.
He's not wrong.
Come on, it's a Fitbit. Let's not kid ourselves. On their official Volcano Bay page on universalorlando.com, we have our first view of the Tapu Tapu and the protocol of them using it at the park. It states, arrive. Enter Universal's Volcano Bay, where you'll be welcomed as part of the Waturi family. Receive your Tapu Tapu. It's an initiation. What's the number one rule of Tapu Tapu? We don't talk about Tapu Tapu. But as you enter the park, every guest will receive a Tapu Tapu wearable. It's yours for the day to unlock the wonders of our tropical oasis. Get that heart rate up. Tap throughout the park. Ooh, companion restrooms everywhere. Look for totems throughout the park and tap your Tapu Tapu wherever you see the symbol.
What is the symbol?
I don't actually know.
I thought it looked like one of the little swirly sun designs.
Oh, yes, I think it
All
does.
right, yeah.
It's like a Maori or Polynesian inspired.
That word's Maori hunter, by the way.
Yeah, that. Hors d'oeuvres.
Directly from Moana.
Anyways, hold your place in line. Tap your Tapu Tapu to enter the virtual line system. Virtual line experience.
Oh.
Relax and play around the park. Your wearable will alert you when it's time to ride.
That symbol, just looking at the artwork that they released alongside this bit of bump, looks like it's like an orange diamond.
Okay. When you see that orange diamond, you can discover interactive surprises. You can even use your Tapu Tapu to play with interactive surprises around the park, from water jets to dazzling lightning effects.
Oh.
Ooh.
Lighting effects, not lightning. That's
I'm a bit disappointed.
That would have been
now.
cool.
People have been smoked.
Great for a water park.
Yeah, true.
I went to a water park and all I got was some severe damage to my nerve system.
At least it only hits once.
Ah.
So at the end of the day, after that, you've got to return your Tapu Tapu. So after a day of fun, return your Tapu Tapu when you exit Volcano Bay.
But that's good. That means it's yours for the day, and then they'll clean them all on a night. You're not worrying about it during the day. They'll get cleaned properly.
I actually feel sick thinking about it as a germaphobe. It's just...
If you're worried about that, you should not be going to a water park.
Aren't you chlorinated water all day, though?
Yeah, but I don't like touching other people. Never mind. Oh,
because everybody will have to have one.
Sorry, but this is like wearing somebody else's pants for me.
It's not like if you're a group or a family where one person can have it and do it for everyone. Everyone's got to have their own by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
I'll just take lots of sanitizing gel.
But you complained, didn't you, when you saw the image of it, that it looks quite big? And a few other people commented when I posted it on the Facebook page that it looked quite bulky.
Yeah.
But you didn't hear it when we were talking to Seth last week, but we didn't know what it was going to be. But I know someone tweeted me this week and said the company who make it were at what's the big tech IAPA at Florida this year, and they're called Excesso.
Right.
And apparently, they were saying that it was for Volcano Bay without saying that it was for Volcano Bay because they weren't allowed to.
I mean, realistically, though, when you do think about it, how else are they going to do it? Little implant in your arm or something like that? You know, they've got no other. There's no other real options, is there?
Your Magic Band at Disney doesn't give you any information, does it? It's literally there just as an RFID read. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Everything is done through the phone.
Right.
Which makes me wonder, does the Tapu Tapu actually have buttons on it? I didn't look too close at the design.
I don't think so. I think it's literally just a screen to show you when your time's ready.
Gotcha. Well, it's almost like a Tamagotchi in that sense, I guess.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have any buttons on it.
Okay. I was just thinking, because if you could navigate around, check wait times and that sort of thing, it makes me wonder if there is going to be any standby lines at all, or if they're going to just completely go, nope, you got to come back.
I don't know, it's still interesting. I think at some point you're going to see this implemented in the parks as well. I mean, Hunter Wheat spoke to Seth about it a little bit, and they said we all believe that this is the initial test for it, and at some point it'll get rolled out in the parks as well.
Do we know how it's going to inform people?
It's got a screen on it.
Yeah, but if you miss that...
It's probably going to vibrate.
I was going to say...
It's probably going to vibrate very, very hard.
Yeah, I was going to say like a little rumble packet or something like that. Well, no, because if you can imagine, because hopefully it's not going to beep, because that's all you're going to hear all day long is beep, beep, beep.
That's true. Everyone checking... Oh, when everyone checks the phone, when someone's phone beeps in a coffee shop and everyone checks the phone.
So I'm just thinking if you've just got like a little rumble pack or something like that in it.
Yeah, probably.
You know.
Well, you think it'll only have the same as what's in your phone.
I gotta say this is nice though, because this encourages, instead of them doing something like the phone, hey, you could literally leave your phone out in a locker all day and just enjoy your day there instead of constantly checking Twitter or Instagram or whatever have you, which, you know, it's awesome that we have those tools, but I think sometimes we get so caught up in those, we don't really enjoy the experience while we're there.
Yeah.
Well, Tracy, moving on, we got an email about this as well this week, didn't we, from Sean?
We did, yes. So Sean Hurley got in touch with us, and he said, today I had to go to Universal for my annual ticket training session programme, where they tell you all about the new ticket options and new offerings in the parks. They call the programme Universal and You. Oh, that sounds like Men in Black. The universe and you. They had a large... Stop.
Don't tell me to shut up.
They had a large section dedicated to Volcano Bay, where they talked about all the rides and lands, but there were some interesting things they said that I hadn't heard yet, so I thought I'd send them over over to you just in case they were new. So number 1, Express will be offered in the park for a cost, but will not be included with the Hotel Express or the AP Express.
Yeah, that's to be expected, I guess.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. Oh, thanks for giving me this one. Number 2, one of the slides is named Maca...
Puihu is how I would pronounce it.
Puihu?
Come ride the Big Maca, sponsored by McDonald's.
Which translates to Wet and Wild.
Which I think's cool.
Yeah, it does. It is. I know what I'm trying to say. And number 3, they had a whole section on why Volcano Bay, even not Volcano Bay, that's something else. Volcano Bay is a water theme park and not a water park. And according to them, there are 3 reasons that make it different from all the rest. Now, the first reason is next level theming and storytelling, which is unlike anything seen in a water-based park before. Secondly, they have the technology being used in the park, which is beyond anything you would find in a water park. And finally, this is the real reason, it's a full-day experience. Unlike most water parks where you only spend about half a day, they really wanted to know that Volcano Bay would just take as long as a theme park to do. So...
That is interesting, because I know like when we went to... Blizzard Beach, we were there for maybe 4 hours?
We could have stayed longer.
Probably, but a full day. So I wonder...
Maybe just another hour or so, but...
Hunter, you're more the water park person here. Darren, have you been to any of the Disney ones, Darren?
No, I have not.
Hunter, what sort of length of time would you spend at a water park if you went to like one of the Disney ones, as a rule?
They're not open very long. So when you get there, I think they open at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
They shut down at like 5, 6 o'clock.
Right.
So this kind of changes that, because this is literally 5 extra hours compared to what you're used to.
Yeah.
And for me, everything is more magical at night. Make your own joke, Tapu Tapu. But I'm really looking forward to spending some nighttime time at Volcano Bay. But yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge until I actually see what's included with this, because even as someone who enjoys water parks, like a lot of the stuff I've seen right now is just kind of like, got a little bit of a height thing going on, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I wonder how much is going to be there for all ages, minus a couple of attractions.
I think it's going to be interesting at night as well, when you think you've got like the lighthouse. If you're in City Walk, you're going to have the lighthouse, the globe, and then probably be able to see the volcano as well. So you get like an extra landmark there, which is pretty cool. If the electricity stays on like it didn't last week.
This is true.
That seems to be happening a lot. Well, not a lot, but at least a few times in recent memory.
It must be bizarre to be on City Walk with no light, no music. Just it must be a very surreal experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you think...
Do you remember that time a couple of years ago where they had the Harry Potter music playing out in New York for half the day?
No? Is that real?
Yeah, that's completely legitimate.
Oh, that was weird.
Oops.
Oops, yes.
Well, speaking of the theme parks, Darren, one of those little secrets that we've kind of divulged that not a lot of people seem to know about, it was going and then it's not. What's the official word that we know about the little side entrance to USF, Darren?
Well, contrary to reports flying around social media, we can confirm that there are no current plans to close the secondary entrance to Universal Studios Florida. Yay!
Hey!
The entrance to licensing the Blue Man Group Theater has long been held as a secret by many Universal Orlando fans, and as of now, you will still be able to use it to beat the crowds at the turnstiles when it's not open all the time. So
Yeah.
You know, it was a better secret before the annual pass holder group on Facebook came along.
Yeah.
Just like the Hogshead Butterbeer.
That was our fault. Yeah, we used it quite a lot when we went last time, didn't we? Because I know when we went to meet Andy and Sam in Margaritaville, we came in that way, we went back out that way, and we went out. I think we went out twice that way that day.
Yeah.
Because no one ever seems to go out that way.
We didn't see anybody.
No.
It was it is a little risky sometimes though to head down that way because you got to go down the long Blue Man Group walkway, and if it doesn't work, then you got to walk all the way back.
That's it. As I said, it's not always guaranteed. It's not like it's an official entrance, so it's not always open. So it's whether you take that risk. But I mean we've never been up there and seen it closed.
No, leaving the park.
Well, you guys come during the on season though, pretty much.
True.
So I think it's more off season, like during the weekdays and things like that, where you won't always have somebody there. But for the most part, they've got a staff.
It's the Walmart greeter position. Let's be fair here.
It must be nicer.
Hey, crap! We forgot we scheduled Bob. Where can we stick him? Okay, Bob, I got a special job for you.
As a turnstile team member, it must be a nicer place to work because you're going to get a bit more of a personal interaction with people, aren't you? Because you're not going to have so many people coming through.
Yeah,
kind of like the hotel ones.
But on the flip side, they're not going to be as busy, and we all know that when you're not that busy, your work day goes slower.
True. That's when you should start dancing and stuff.
This is true.
Well, speaking of dancing, which you need music for, and if you want to beat the crowds to get in for the concerts for Mardi Gras, and that entrance happens to be open, then you can get in there. And we have had another addition to the Mardi Gras lineup, haven't we, Tracy?
We have. So yes, the final concert performer has been announced for this year's Mardi Gras concert series, and that will be
the world famous
Yandel or Yandel.
He plays every year, doesn't he?
Well, obviously, he or she or whoever is so memorable, I cannot remember how we pronounce this name. But if you are a fan of Yandel, you can go and see Yandel perform on Saturday, March the 4th.
Wasn't Yandel the girl Yoda? In Phantom Menace? That was Yaddle. Never mind.
Are either of you two planning on doing any concerts there this year?
No, not me.
It'll be the same thing as every year where I say I'm going to try to go make it to All-American Rejects and then I end up missing it.
Darren, is it you because you don't want to deal with the crowds or there's no one that interests you?
No one really interesting me and the crowds combined with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think back to Hunter when you went to Fallout Boy last year and...
in a way it's kind of like, oh crap, they got Fall Out Boy to play. And then I guess this year they're kind of looking back and they're like, can't do that again.
It's a tough one, isn't it, to get those people. They want people that are a draw, but don't want people that are too much of a draw.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the guys over at Ridevine posted this. They're like, well, if they had to skimp on this year's Mardi Gras lineup so they could put more work into Fast and Furious and Jimmy Fallon and Volcano Bay and all that, then so be it. I'm not going to complain too much about it.
Speaking of Jimmy Fallon, I haven't put it on there, but the walls are down. As Seth said, I think we're going to get soft very soon because there's team members posted out in the front of it.
Well, they've been spotted up the stairs, haven't they, practicing?
Okay.
Yeah, because as you go in, there's a lovely flight of stairs, from what I've seen. And team members have been spotted in uniform, up on the top level.
Okay.
Going through the motions.
I know Gillian's
So-
out there. Who does our Instagram? She's been out there 2 or 3 times, and she keeps posting pictures of it. And she's desperate for it to hurry up and open up. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's something new. It's something exciting. I do think it's going to get overshadowed by Volcano Bay and Pandora.
Yeah.
But it's not really supposed to compete on the level of that.
No,
So
it's not a draw. It's not there to bring people into the park. It's to spread the crowds out.
no.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wonder how long this attraction's actually going to be. Have they announced a ride length time yet?
They haven't.
I'm expecting maybe about a minute or a minute and a half. I was about to say 3.5 minutes.
Hunter, how long's Soarin'?
Soarin'? I think it's like 4 minutes.
Just feels longer.
Because this, you've got like a bit of a pre-show, haven't you? And then the ride itself, and then the after bit. So I think as the whole experience, it might be quite long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole ride through. And unlike Soarin', that is an advantage. You do have a complete attraction from front to... Well, I don't want to even say that because it might be very lightly themed, but it looks like they're putting attention into the queue. So
that there's going to be a story from start to finish.
It's not literally standing in a line, looking at a wall, answering trivia questions on your phone, which is what Soarin' is now.
Yeah, well, you think it's going to have the queueless stuff attached to it, so it'll be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah, I'm curious if that history is just one room. To me, I think they should do it almost like One Man's Dream, where you walk in and then you've got all these props and costumes and everything. I think I've said that before, but they should have, while you're waiting between the next 2 or 3 rides, even after you're there for your ride time, you should be able to walk down, not necessarily even a whole corridor like One Man's Dream, but have a full expansive room where you get to see all this cool stuff.
Yeah. I think that for us Brits coming over, that those bits aren't going to mean that much to us, but I still think it'd be quite interesting.
No, but if you have like a vague interest in just television history in general, it's kind of getting back to the production roots of Universal in a weird way.
You're right, actually. Yeah, it's interesting that the park's evolved, yet they're still keeping that sort of look at the past in there as well. Oh, you look at something like Hollywood Studios where they're moving completely away from that. Whereas Universal, yes, they've evolved, but they're still kind of keeping that loose theme still in the park.
Yeah. I'm hoping they go a little bit more One Man's Dream with it as far as like the presentation versus something, say, like Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
Where it's just stuff kind of shoved into a corner behind glass. But, there's so much we don't know, but we'll be able to see it relatively soon. There's only a couple more shows until we figure out what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it might not have a disaster kind of vibe to it with like the 2. I mean, essentially they already have the 2 rooms set up there before you go into the main room. I don't think they're going to be changing it all that much in that respect.
Yeah.
So maybe like mainly hosted by Jimmy Fallon and maybe using that same kind of like Musion technology with the screens.
Yeah.
Possibility. Anyways, so, yeah.
I haven't been in that building enough to actually really think about the layout. I think the last time we were in there, we got lost, didn't we? Because we went to do the booth tour and we followed some guy that we thought was taking us to the booth, and he wasn't. He was just a guest wandering around, and he went, "Oh, were we supposed to follow you?" And he went, "No."
But he ended up joining us, didn't he? Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that. That was funny.
Yeah.
Well, the way Twister was is you'd walk in the main building and you'd have there's that corridor, and then you walk out into like an open air area, like a holding area.
Yes.
Yeah, which
and then you go through into that. Yeah, and then you go into that first like warehouse kind of room that had the 2 screens, and then you'd go into that little kind of like back and forth maze kind of thing that after the Twister already hit, and then you'd go into the showroom.
So have they actually expanded the building, or have they added anything to the outside of it to make it bigger, or is it still just exactly the same as it was?
You can't tell because it's behind the facade. I don't know if anybody's seen anything behind there to see.
But that's what I'm saying. The actual exterior of the building, did they build it out or not?
I don't think so.
Right.
Because when we went on that VIP tour in the back, they still had like the Twister loading area like sign on the back of it and everything. Like,
right.
But if I see the picture of stairs, that gives a second level.
That's a very good point. I never clicked on that, because even Gillian's posted it on our Instagram that, you obviously, the ride takes place and you come down into the shop. That's interesting,
So it may end up being sort of like a cinema is. but maybe go in from the top, some cinemas, and it goes down, so you could load at the top and then drop down or something.
Yeah, I never clicked on that.
Because with Soaring, how you all sit and then they all lift up.
Yeah.
They could feasibly do it the other way. So it's like sitting on Dragon Challenge.
And
so
then
you're
it drops
suspended,
down into the
and it would just go down, and drop down that way. That would be a loading option. But I don't. Obviously, it's all in my head there.
Interesting. What were you going to say, Hunter?
Oh, I was gonna make a really dumb joke about Escape from New York, but I'm not sure how many people would have gotten it. Escape from New York starring Kurt Russell. I mean, that would have excited me.
Yes.
I think you're one of very few people it would have been. Anyway, speaking of...
Could there be a more inappropriate, out-of-touch attraction to put than Jimmy Fallon? Oh, my dear.
Speaking of BCD and e-ticket attractions, it's time to head over to Maureen for Autism at the Park, and she's over in Springfield at Kangan Kodos.
Hi, this is Maureen Deal with Autism at the Parks, reporting from Universal Orlando Resort for the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. And today I'm at Universal Studios Florida, outside the Kangan Kodos Twirl and Hurl attraction. There's no height requirement for this attraction, but supervising companion is required for all children under 48 inches. However, infants must be able to sit upright unassisted, and there's no lap sitting allowed. For guests using wheelchairs, some of the ride vehicles have been modified to aid with your transfer, so please see an attendant for assistance if needed. This is a fun ride for everyone in the family. The snarky comments from the Simpsons characters as you fly around is kind of fun. And this has been Maureen Deal for the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, signing off from Universal Studios, Florida.
I can't figure that attraction out because I don't know where you're supposed to have your vehicle to get those targets to hit.
You're supposed to be in line. There's markers on them. You have to go through a certain thing. Oh, I like that. And then the character spins. So
here's a question for you then. Mm-hmm. Darren, not for you because I know how many times you've ridden it. Darren Hunter, how many times have you ridden Kangan Kodos?
I'd say probably at least 10 times.
Okay. Hunter?
Maybe more.
I've ridden it twice, just during various stages of Gringotts being made, or excuse me, Diagon Alley in general being made, because that was a way to get some really cool pictures and check everything out from up there.
You what?
They're both ridden with us.
No.
Pretty sure Darren has.
I think we've ridden it with Eric.
Darren has.
No, I don't think he has.
Darren has.
I'm
pretty sure I might have actually sat next to Darren.
Have you, Darren?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Darren's ridden it with us.
I need to go back. By the way, I'm going to state categorically right now.
Oh, state? I thought you said stay at.
Tentative plans are in the works. I'm going to say 2019 at the very latest.
Hey, this is news to me,
No, it's
folks.
not. We kind of discussed it. I need to come back for 2019.
You said to me the other day, when we were in the middle of an evening out, may I point out.
A spiritual evening out.
Well, I didn't say when we're in the middle of something because that made it sound a bit...
Anyway.
Yeah. You said to me, need to talk to you about getting back over there.
2019.
In 2019.
2019 is the year
and
to
I
go.
said, we'll talk about it later, you're being rude. And we haven't actually spoken about it properly since. You kind of, when I mentioned it the other way, you went, yeah, we need to go back then. And that's all you've said.
Well, that's when Star Wars Land's supposed to open, so all the new stuff plus that will be open by then, so it seems a good time to go back.
And we take kids.
We'll probably have to take at least one of them.
Do I have to come home?
No, you'll already be there.
You have to be a very good boy.
It might be Darren and Nina's.
Oh!
Don't frighten them.
Wait, are we announcing something?
No. Darren wants to go on.
Darren's fainted.
He hasn't said it. He wants to go on Tyrannon on Flyers.
Yeah.
Have you ever ridden that, Darren? So we haven't even lent you Jade before to go and ride it.
Seriously?
We're bad friends.
we could have palmed our child off at any point and we didn't.
I think Nina probably would have enjoyed it. Her and Nina get on did well. Anyway, right. So moving on.
You want to ride with Jade?
Jade's like, I'm good.
Who did Jade ride on Rip Ride Rocket with at Halloween Horror Nights?
Me.
Was it?
Yeah.
You never got shot of her all night, did you?
Nope. Story of my life. Have a child, never get rid of it. No, I do love her.
Anyway, Tracy, it's
Yes.
time to move on to your little segment. So do you want to shine the spotlight on this week's vegetarian option?
I will
Veggie
indeed.
section!
Kablam!
Go on then.
Right. So yes, this week I will be staying in City Walk, and I'm going to be looking at the Portobello sandwich from the NBC Sports Grill and Brew. Now, having eaten at the Sports Grill and Brew, the food was excellent. It wasn't veggie, but it was excellent.
I've just
Which
had
is good
someone
stuff.
tweet me today who ate there yesterday, and they have a suggestion for a vegetarian thing, but I will save that for a later show.
Okie dokie. Now, the Portobello sandwich, according to whoever is writing for Universal, is one of the best vegetarian sandwiches that they have tried on property, hands down. Hands down makes it very difficult to eat something. Very messy. This sandwich is stacked, of course, with portobello, avocado, tomatoes, Swiss cheese, arugula, or rocket for the Brits, and other yummy toppings.
There you go. There's another word that we have different. Eggplant and arugula.
Eggplant isn't
No, but I'm
arugula.
saying that we had a whole conversation, and then it all went in the producers' club. That what was the other? What was the one in the producers' club that they were
Look at the
talking
odd
about that
section
we
to
don't
myself one time.
pronounce?
Cucumbers, was it?
No, it was. What's a zucchini?
Courgette.
Zucchini.
Zucchino.
What was the one that you had in your last section that we had a discussion over? It was eggplant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we call it aubergine.
Aubergine.
Yeah. So there. So arugula is another one. I wouldn't have known that was rocket.
See, arugula sounds like an old-time car horn to me.
Arugula.
That's the one.
Arugula.
Oh, see, it's a good job we don't call it that, because that's how I'd say it all the time over here. And I can't stand the stuff. So, let me carry on describing this sandwich.
She didn't tell me to shut it though.
Shh! Naughty. So, yes, other yummy toppings, which is a bit vague. And it's apparently a very, I'm adding words, an incredibly delicious sandwich. And it is completed by a delish, quote there, delish pesto spread. And it's definitely a home run.
I never included you the picture this week, did I?
You didn't?
It was there, and then it obviously now isn't there.
Well,
You wouldn't eat that because of the
If-
avocado and the arugula.
That sounds good to me.
yeah, I really don't like avocado. It's like eating soap.
I like avocado as if it's
Mashed. Guacamole.
Yeah,
I don't like it then either.
Guacamole.
I think it's a texture thing for me.
Yeah.
But it does sound like a great sandwich, and if that's the sort of stuff that you like, it sounds like it's going to be absolutely jam-packed. So,
Yeah.
it looked nice. I say I normally include the picture for you, but I haven't. But it did look
I know.
nice, as sandwiches go.
well, I'll take your word for it, dear. So yes, that's this week's vegetarian option.
Well, if you would like to take advantage of these vegetarian options, Darren, there's something that will make it a bit more enticing for people to visit City Walk now, isn't there?
Killing it on those transitions.
Oh, I know.
Yes, there is. Universal, as it seems they might do from time to time, must have been listening to our discussion about City Walk on episode 233, as they are now offering complimentary parking to all guests that arrive after 6 p.m. Not valid on Halloween Horror Nights, event nights, of course. But yeah,
Does that mean on a Halloween Horror Nights night, you still have to pay to park whatever time you turn up?
yeah, I do believe so.
Is that how it is normally? Because
On
I know,
Halloween Horror Nights nights, yeah.
yeah, because I know when we came over last time, I was expecting it to be, because it used to be, was it $5 after 6 o'clock?
Yeah, it was reduced, wasn't it?
It was reduced,
Yeah,
wasn't it? So we came over
think so.
to go. We went to Red Oven, and
This is last time.
completely forgot that it was Saturday night, so Halloween Horror Nights was on. Queued for like 20 minutes just to get through the turnstiles.
Yeah. Day we landed, yeah.
And obviously paid $20 to go to City Walk for an hour and a half.
Ouch. Yeah.
That's a bit of a.
So,
I find that interesting that if you're not going to Horror Nights, you still have to pay full price.
well, how are they really going to be able to tell?
I don't suppose they can really, Because if you go in and they say, well, we want to see your Halloween Horror Nights ticket, you go, I haven't got a Halloween Horror Nights ticket.
Okay, you're free to go.
Let's be honest. Us theme park fans are always trying to cut money so we can use them on non-necessary things like dessert parties. Like out in Disneyland, they have Downtown Disney, which is connected to the parks, and they literally have a gigantic sign that says, "Please do not park here if you are going to the parks." Do you know what people do?
They park there.
They obey the sign, Darren.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
So I don't think there's really a way. I think I read that the preferred parking is going about the wayside during the evening because of this.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember my source on that one. I think there's still going to be, what do they call that parking? Not escort parking. What are we talking about?
Valet.
Valet parking, yes.
Only for
I think
escorts.
that's still going to be there.
See, I don't like the idea of valet parking.
I've seen too many
me
movies.
I don't like the idea. It's like not so bad for us because we'd be in a hire car, but I don't like the idea of someone else driving. Like if it was Darren turning up, I wouldn't like the idea of somebody else driving my car.
Darren, he doesn't want you driving his car.
Yeah, that's how I heard that as well.
No, like if Darren turned
Darren's
up to
car.
Universal and like paid for valet parking, I wouldn't like to think that someone else is doing what I wouldn't do to my car. I've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, what was it? Last year, that video came out of the valet at Universal attempting to like rev a car up and go crazy with it, but the owner had a dash cam and the car has a valet mode that doesn't allow them to like rev over a certain RPM.
Oh.
So he posted the video online of the Universal valet guy like cussing him out and everything, like just in the car trying to rev it, and
I wonder if that guy still has a job.
I wouldn't expect so.
But yeah. So I even other than that, I just would not want to valet my car.
No.
It really takes a long time to pick it up too. So.
Yeah, I suppose because you've got to go there, give them your ticket, they've got to go and get your car, drive it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably 6 and 2 3s for the time you're saving for walking up to wherever you parked.
Yeah, and you had to tip them. Even though it's free, it's included with our passes because we got the top pass.
Yeah,
but we just rather park in preferred parking because it's right there.
Yeah.
So
cool, right? Well, you've cursed me, Darren, because I've been sat for the last 2 minutes trying to think of a transition into the next one. And I can't. So we're going to move on. Yeah, I do have.
Speaking of sitting
cars
in
have
cars,
seats, you mean?
Yeah. See, I'll help you out.
Time to move on to the best seat in the house, our little segment where we are going to try and give you the best advice to find out where is the best place to sit on certain rides. And this week we are moving into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade, and we will begin with Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. And of course, as we have done every week, we'll begin with the Producers Club comments, and we will go in the order Hunty, Tracy, Darren, and then me. So Hunter, Tracy, Darren, and me. So Hunter.
I only respond to my actual name now, Lee. Hunty.
That Hunty and Tracer.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You did there, Hunty. Good job there.
Is that like our celebrity marriage name? Hunty.
You and I, yeah, Hunty.
Do you know that's going to be a t-shirt, isn't it?
Much better than Lunter. I'm not as big.
Linter?
Lunter, come in here and eat your porridge.
That sounds German. Lunter.
Lunter.
So, me and Darren are Taran. Oh,
Tracy. Don't need to be listening.
Tracy.
Anyway, Hunter.
Yes. So, Ali, is it Schilberg?
You say that every week. Yes, it's
I'm
Ali
sorry,
Schilberg.
Ali. You and I interrupted the Producers Club and all that, and I continuously mess up your name. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Lunter's not on this game this week. Most to the right-hand side, you see Hermione last when the ride starts, and you also get to experience everything kind of as a surprise, if that makes sense. It does. On the left side, you kind of see what's coming before it actually happens, or before it does.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got Alicia Stella. And she says, if you want a more wild ride, sit in the ends as the movements are more extreme. Sit in the middle 2 seats for less movement, since you'll be lined up with the Kuka arm and will have less swinging back and forth motions. I like it more wild, so I always sit in the end.
Okay.
And I prefer the rightmost seat on the left when looking at the bench before sitting, as it has more near misses with the scenery.
Stuart Mallet says middle for best view of dome screens, which I gotta agree.
Darren, you're giving away your idea. Jessica Edwards says in the middle 2 seats for sure.
Lee, just a heads up, you've actually got Allie in here twice. Once at the beginning and once at the bottom. Yeah, but they're 2 different answers, so I think we're missing somebody's name.
Let me have a look, because I've got yours in here somewhere. Hunter.
It's
right. So you've got Ali.
I just read one.
Maureen, Holly, and then Jill.
Yes. Oh, the last one's for Dragon Challenge. I didn't see that mixed in there. Sorry about that.
All right.
Yeah, I've just put her name above Dragon Challenge instead of below it.
Gotcha. Okay. Oops. No wonder. Okay. No problem. So Maureen, my best friend Maureen, says right side on the in.
And Thomas Bruno says left seat. Short and to the point.
Brian Jennings says third seat from the right as you look at the bench just prior to sitting down. This is my favorite ride of all time, so I guarantee myself multiple rides, usually as a single rider each visit. Seats 1 and 4 can miss either the very beginning or the very end of Hermione and the Floo Powder, so 3 is good to catch it all. Plus, third seat is still on the end of the bench that gets the full view and blast of the dragon steam breath.
Andy from Belgium says it doesn't really matter, all the seats are the same.
Okay. So Holly Cotter says, I like the seat that the dragon breathes on. LOL. I believe that is the inside seat on the right side, left side of standing looking at the benches.
Right. So I was just visualising that. Rob Hoffman says middle 2 seats.
Sean Hill similarly says the middle 2 seats. You can see the other benches when you sit on either end.
That's true.
Jillian Dunn says, either middle seat will work best with the screens and tends to lower the risk of getting sick. However, far right seat gets all the interaction. An example, dragon spits in your face, big spider, last Dementor.
Craig Darling says, I think any seat gives the same effect. Maybe sit at the sides if you've ridden it a good few times and just want to have a look at the mechanisms behind the ride.
And Lonnie Clay says, anywhere is good.
Okie dokie. Right, so now on to us. In the same order. Hunter.
For me, mine is actually, I kind of am right in between. And by that, I mean the middle seat. So I am third seat to the right because I think that puts you directly right in front of the dragon, at least for as many times as I've ridden Forbidden Journey. And then the sense of motion in that spot is actually enhanced. I think you get the most motion all the way to the left. I'm not sure if anyone else can confirm that for me. But I think that's just kind of the sweet spot as far as you see the screen super clearly. That's a great spot for the interaction that you get. And you get really up close and personal with the Dementors in that section. So third seat in.
Is that to the right looking at it before you get on?
So that's going to be...
So if you're looking at the benches
I guess
from
third
the walkway.
to the left in that case.
So when you're sat on it...
Or second to the left.
Right, Hunter. You stood on the walkway looking at the bench ready to get on.
Second left.
Yes. Second left.
Right.
Second left.
So
Yeah.
You're in the Universal Parking Garage.
Yeah. Well, that's okay because he hasn't stolen my spot. Because I always end up at the far left as he facing it, far right as he's sitting on it. So Hunter's next to me.
To the first seat.
No, the last seat. If I'm facing it, it's the on the left, but I'm sat on it.
Don't
the
forget
right.
you're facing me. So when you're doing that, it means
Lee, can you stop trying to answer for Trunter? Tracy and I have this.
Oh my god!
I like that.
So the last seat.
What they call Kim and I.
Well, I've got that. I realised that now. I've got that written down. Yes, I've got that written down here to bring up.
Oh, that's bad.
It's nothing you haven't called me before, Lee.
I've never called you that.
At me.
Him. Yes.
Darren.
Oh, okay.
Well,
You done yours, haven't you?
Oh,
You
it said it was there.
Well, go on then.
Well, it's mainly by default because I always end up in that seat. But I can't remember why now.
Have you ever
Been
sat anywhere
distracted.
else? Yeah, you must have done, because you
I've
sat next
in
to
the
me
middle.
before.
Yeah, I've sat in the middle. I've not sat first seat. Or sat the last seat, if you like.
All right.
But I like to. I've ridden it so many times. I like to be able to twist and have a look and watch all the machinery and stuff like
See,
that.
I don't.
Oh, I
I've
do. It's
seen it once,
fascinating.
and it's like I don't need to see that. Darren,
I guess either of the middle two seats, but if you had to pick one, then if you're looking at it, then the one towards the right, the middle seat on the right.
right? Any particular reason?
I think I thought that's where you get hit with the dragon, but I don't know.
Okay. I haven't ridden it
No,
enough to know.
no, it is the left. That is right. That's correct. So I guess the left one. Never mind.
So seat 2, as it were, as you're looking at it.
But,
Seat
yeah,
mine.
but really,
Oh.
any of them, it doesn't really matter.
Same as your seat 4.
Is
Yeah,
that what
I
am?
would say.
One. So you facing it 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only, I can't remember who it was, said now that you sit on the ends, you get a better range of motion. I've never noticed it. To be honest, when we rode it last time, it actually made me quite nauseous. And I've never had that before. And I don't know whether it's because the screens have degraded enough that it kind of, just enough to sort of knock you out a little bit. It could desperately do with upgrading. But I would say, I don't think it really matters where you sit, but my advice is if you just want to experience what the ride has to offer as an overall experience, it doesn't matter where you sit, as long as you sit back. Mm-hmm. So you let the sort of bench surround you so you can't see outside of your little window, as it were.
Yeah, your little box.
That's what I would say. I think it's one that's not... You've literally got 4 seats to sit in, so I don't think it makes a great deal of difference, but it's interesting to see how many of the producers all had different ideas, but for different reasons as well. You can tell the people that have ridden it loads and loads, because they're like, I like to sit in this seat because you get this and that, and like all the very specific things.
There is another reason for seat 4. Right? And that's because you're not quite fully in line with Hermione right at the beginning. You can't see when it's all out of sync and she says observatory.
No, it's well out of sync. It
Yeah,
was
and you can't really
horrendous
see that
last
in
time.
seat 4.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Right, so moving on, we will move on to Dragon Challenge. We're going to get some very similar reviews, I think, of where to sit from. Is this the first suspended one we've done, isn't it? We did Hulk last time, so same order again. Hunter, Tracy, Darren, and me.
All right, so Jillian Dunn is back to talk about Dragon Challenge. Both are the same. I always prefer the outside seats on any coasters, but front row is a must for any suspended coaster. But these ones, nothing beats hurtling towards that ivy-covered wall or the other track with no obstructing view. Bonus points for nighttime riding. The lighting is minimal back there.
That's something we've never done, is ridden that at night.
Everything's better at night. I burned my hand at night.
Okay.
Just smiling.
No, come on. SpongeBob?
No,
We'll talk about SpongeBob again soon.
Hunter, I'm 41.
I still watch SpongeBob.
Yeah, anyway.
Lonnie Clay said, on both I would wait for the front. Back in the day when they duelled, it was so great to see the other coaster coming tight at you.
Sean Hill says back rows for the G-force, of course.
Rob Hoffman says that the outer 2 seats, no row preference.
Holly Cotter says, Fireball! I'm not sure if she really wants a drink or if she's answering the question.
Andy says, Dragon Challenge front because it gives the best views, especially when they used to duel. That used to be so awesome.
Yeah.
Brian Jennings says Dragon Challenge, Horntail. He's got ones for each one. Horntail, front row, outside seats. This is by far my favorite coaster at Universal Orlando. No other seat compares to the loops and drops with nothing but blue sky surrounding you. And for the Fireball is front row, outside seats for the same reason. However, he will give back row, outside seat a close second here for the whipping action and the last second view of the vertical wall. Cool.
Thomas Brino says front row.
Maureen says she's never rode it, and she never will. And then she puts this really sadistic smiley face at the end, which is even sadder.
Jessica Edwards says front row is good for the view, and I think with the speed on these, the front row doesn't get too impacted by the slow drop waiting for the back to catch up. I think any of the outer seats are the best.
And Stuart Mallet says front row feels like flying on the beast.
Alicia Stella says, I only ride ice. Is that the Horntail? I'm not actually sure which one's which.
I don't know which is which.
I'm not even sure. I just still call it ice. The blue one and the first row, or first 3 rows if you don't like waiting, are the best. The blue one goes over the red track at one point near the beginning, offering an incredible feeling of weightlessness you do not get on the other track, and sitting in the front row so you get the best views of Hogwarts, the train station, and just wherever you're going in general is the best on this ride. Red is too rough in a few places, so I just don't ride it anymore.
Huh.
Fair dues.
And Allie's back, and she says, both sides. I like the second row because it's just as good as the front, but you don't have that delay as the back row has to catch up with the front.
Darren, have you got one?
Nope.
Right, we'll move on different order then, because Hunter just took that last one. So we will go, Tracy, what's your preference for Dragon Challenge? Let's do specific which one, if you can remember, and then a seat. You would assume the Chinese fireball must be
fire.
Yeah, must be fire.
Which
Is
it's the right one, isn't it?
I can't remember.
Seem to think that's the right one.
Red one.
Red for right.
Do you know? I can't really remember enough detail. To be honest, it's because it doesn't duel anymore. I'm not so bothered about being at the front. So really, I'm just like, do you know what? As long as I'm on the outside, I'm happy anywhere.
But you won't ride the back because of the
G-forces. I
G-forces, won't
can't. Yeah, I can't ride the back. I used to love riding at the back, but I can't anymore. So to be honest, I'm a bad one to ask with this. I just like to
Well, no, because
enjoy
you
the
can
ride.
still give that opinion of, because I've got a bad back, I can ride it, but I can't ride it at the back. I don't want to ride it at the front because it just makes me cry.
Yeah. But I would say I could go up to probably the third row from the back. That's about as far back as I could go. So I would try and go a bit further back because I do like G-force. But yeah, on the outside. And no preference over which one because I can't remember.
So the same as
About
Andy. Darren?
I'm gonna have to go with the back for the G-force because I don't know what people are talking about views on this ride. I don't think there's a whole lot of views to be had. For the most part, it's just like mud bog, like Florida mud bog with like a wall on one side and then a little bit of backstage. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think the views are very impressive on there, so I do like the back just for the G-force. I liked the front back when they used to duel.
Yeah.
Because you try to time it, to be with your friends or family, on the front on both of them. Mm-hmm. So you can, when you pass by, you can see each other and that kind of thing. But since they stopped that, I just want the G-force experience there.
Mm-hmm. Hunter?
I only ride one side on this roller coaster, and that is the Hungarian horntail side, the blue side, the ice side, whatever you want to call it. If you give me the option, I'll ride in the front row because, like Darren's saying, there's not a heck of a lot as far as views are concerned, but just having that completely unobstructed view for the front of the track, that's nice. But yeah, I do like Hungarian horntail because it has more inversions. I mean, the other side's a bit faster, but I just think Hungarian horntail is a more enjoyable ride, and I'll pretty much ride it anywhere. It never has a wait, so just wherever they put me is where I'm happy. But front row if I had to choose.
Yeah. I think it is a tough one. I mean, I don't know them well enough to know which which one's which at this point, because I know one's more about the speed and one's more about the inversions, isn't it? But I couldn't tell you which one's which.
I will say Horntail is easily my favorite roller coaster at Universal Orlando.
Okay.
So
I think as far as where to sit, I think the blue one's on the left-hand side,
I was going to say,
yeah.
I always seem to end up on the one on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
I think that's...
Well, we did both last time.
Isn't that the one that when it did duel went over the top?
I can't remember. See, I would if they still duelled, I would say front row every time.
Oh, yeah.
Every time. Because that near miss section in the middle where they both come together and do the inverted loop was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was so good, like to the point, like, and then there's another bit where I think one does a corkscrew underneath the other.
Uh-huh.
And if you were on the one at the top, then pull your feet out the way because my ankles are going to get chopped off.
That's when the other one leapfrogs over.
It's just such a shame that it doesn't duel anymore because it's just two average coasters at this point, and it used to be fantastic. But I would still say front row, so you can sort of relive those memories of when it did used to duel and imagine that other one's in front of you. But I think if you can take the G-forces, go somewhere near the back. But I think the only recommendation I would give is, I think a lot of people have already said it, is get the outside seats.
Yeah, if you stare at the other empty track as you pass by it in the near miss sections, time will slow down for a second, and you can hear Sarah McLachlan song playing in the distance.
I'm gutted as
and
well.
Then it goes back.
I'm gutted as well because the only time that Raymond got to ride it, Jade wasn't tall enough, when we went in 2009. They were dueling, and it was all sort of fenced off because you came into it through Jurassic Park.
Right. Well, why the heck haven't they allowed it to start dueling again with the metal detectors? Why not?
I don't know.
Well, if we got free parking last week after we complained, who knows?
But the disappointing thing was that when Raymond and I rode it then, it was dueling, but I think because they were working on a lot of the stuff around it, it wasn't lined up properly, so all the near misses were mistimed. So one had hit the loop first, which was a shame. So it's never even.
It's supposed to wait.
Yeah, well, that's when you're going up the hill. That's why they
see which one. Then one will go.
Yeah,
the weight one will go slightly.
So that was disappointing. Yeah. That it's been 12 years at this point since we've rode it when it's been properly dueling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the big rumours surrounding it it might not be there much longer.
We'll see. I think they've got other stuff on their plate.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Toon Lagoon needs to be fixed, and Seuss Landing needs a major upgrade before they do anything.
Yeah, and Lost Continent needs something added, but
I think we've talked pretty much every week at this point that Islands needs some help
desperately. So they've concentrated the last 10 years mainly on Universal, and Islands has got left far behind at this point.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, well, that's going to wrap up episode 235. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yep.
And we will be back next week for another episode, so see ya.
Send us your suggestions for couple pair names between the four co-hosts. I'd love to read them.
That's it for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Make sure you never miss a show by subscribing on iTunes, and while you're there, please leave us a rating and a review. Listen to us on Stitcher, Google Play, and all your podcast apps. Email us with any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com, or even better, record your message at speakpipe.com/uuopodcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Check out our blog for even more content at uuopodcast.com. Well, that's a wrap. See you next week.